that little town, they were lost and never found. Fallen leaves, fallen leaves, fallen leaves on the ground.
Okay, now the story for Unbound Saga is pretty simple. You play as a character named Rick, who is a comic book tough guy in a comic book world. And pretty much he's just living out his life in this comic book. He's just, he's doing stuff, he's beating people up, he's living out his life in this comic book world. And pretty much he's tired of being treated like just some piece of scum by the maker of this comic book, I guess. They just call him the maker. He's being thrown into places where it looks like he's gonna die, but he always comes out on top and stuff. And he's just tired of it. So one day, just out of nowhere, this girl named Lori comes up and says, "Let's get out of here. I got a map. Let's go. You don't remember me? That's okay. I'll tell you about our adventure." And they pretty much say, "You know what? Let's go and find the maker and destroy him," pretty much. And that's really the story of the game. It's very simple. It's really, really simple arcade kind of story, but it's not bad actually. It has some kind of likable characters. You don't have that many characters. You don't got character development really at all. Besides that, this character Rick is just a badass and he kills everything in the comic book world. So, that's really all you have. Lori comes out of nowhere, really just the character comes out of nowhere, and she's just there to help him out and for two players to play the game. So really the story's simple. It's not bad at all. I didn't mind it. So let's go on to the sound. Okay, now sound effects in the game are really, really arcadey, very beat 'em up style. You just hear a couple different kicks and punch sound effects here and there. And that's really it. The music's pretty good itself, but nothing really memorable. The voice acting, there is voice acting. It's actually pretty decent. It's actually pretty good. I wouldn't even say decent. It's actually pretty good. But there's not that much of it because this game's about maybe 2.5 to 3 hours long, and there's only about 10 little cutscenes here and there where they use the voiceovers. There is some voiceovers here and there in the actual gameplay, but not much, and it actually has nothing to do with the actual dialogue. They'll say, "Hey, what's up?" and the dialogue will actually be something completely different written in text on the gameplay. So really, there's just some voiceovers here and there in the gameplay, but in the cutscenes, which are all comic book style, but I'll talk about that in the graphics, are actually pretty good. So sound overall is okay. It's pretty good. So let's go on to the graphics of the game. Okay, now the graphics for Unbound Saga are pretty good also. They're not great at all, but for a $10 XBLA game, they're actually okay. One thing I want to say that I really, really liked about it is the comic book illustrations in the game. Like I said before, they're very nice actually. There's not that many of them, and when I mean that not that many, each level you get a different cutscene with comic book illustrations, and each one maybe like 5, 6, maybe 7 panels each cutscene. So I would say about 60 to 70 panels, which is still pretty good. I mean, that's a lot of illustration in about a 2.5 to 3 hour game. But, I mean, they're actually really good, so I would love to see more. The environments look kind of bland. They're all the generic kind of like sewers and like swamps and buildings. And they're not bad at all, but they're pretty generic itself. The character models are actually pretty good also. They're not fantastic at all. They do definitely look like something that came from a PSP game or a PSP downloadable game, but they look maybe a little higher res than a PSP game, except you can still tell they're a little weird looking, like the heads are like a little square at the top or something like that. I'm just giving an example. That's not really what this is at, but really, it looks a little weird here and there, but overall, the art looks pretty good for the character model, and overall, I thought the graphics were not bad at all. Just like the sound and the story, they're pretty good. So overall, yeah, pretty good. So let's go on to the gameplay. Okay, now the gameplay in Unbound Saga is really simple. It's a brawler. Let's just say that. You beat people up, you pick up weapons to beat people up, you throw people at other people to beat them up, you throw people at walls to kill them, you keep beating people up, you do some puzzles here and there, and really that's all you do. There's some puzzles here and there which actually mix it up just a wee bit, like you have to pull a lever in a certain order, like 1, 2, 3. You have to do 3, 1, and 2 or something like that. If you know what I'm talking about. And there's, it's mostly a brawler also. You also have an upgrade system in here, which you get a whole bunch of skill points by killing your enemies, and you could go and upgrade either character you play as. It doesn't matter. You can upgrade their skills, new combos you can get, upgrade them all the way so they're more powerful, and that's really cool. That's actually interesting to do, make them more powerful besides just buying it and then leaving it at that. I mean, other games have definitely done that, but it was cool to see it in this game. You could buy like different skills. Like Lori has a skill where she can bring in a doppelganger of herself, and she could help her beat up a guy or something. She could throw poison grenades and stuff. Rick has the ability to like bear hug an enemy and take his health and stuff, which is they're all really pretty cool skills. I mean, they're unique in their way. Lori also has the ability to hide in shadows and stuff, which I don't think works all that great, but it's a cool addition there. And I like this game. I really do. It's a fun little game. For $10, it's not bad. I heard it was a PSP game, like I said before, and maybe if you have a PSP, it might be a better deal because I think it's probably about $10 there, and it's definitely something you would want to bring on your PSP or a portable device and bring it around and just beat up people on a train station or something. It would make more sense on a portable device. But it's still a fun little game to play with your friends online, co-op. So, yeah, I like the game. Check my description for my written review, and there you go. Check it out. It's a pretty good one. Get the trial and stick with it for a little while, and you might like it just like I did. So, anyway, there you go. Written review in the description below, and thanks and goodbye.